I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat in tandem to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, guys? Time for another video. This video I'm going to talk about the dramatic differences in attitude of the far right and the far left attitude toward drugs and drug addicts. And talking in parentheses, I'll give you a heads up, this video also gives me an excuse to say eventually I've been meaning to get around to talking about why certain addicts are bad, especially if there were ones like a cousin that I once had before he died of all that shit, that his attitude toward it was his own fault, and it was going to be geared toward how the cute one gets away with everything, and I dovetail racial issues into it, and I have a fair thing to talk about. Well, a video like that is coming, so I'm going to tell you that right now. This is kind of leading up to it, because I always tell my partner about this shit. But anyway, yeah, the far right and the far left have extreme attitudes toward addicts. Like, the far left, it's very dangerous attitude, but I always tell you the political right and left have their own left and right. For example, I'm going to start by saying, okay, you got the far right as opposed to the moderate right, which would be like I told you guys in videos before. I had people of different races that were kind of lean to the right, have common sense about things, and swear a little bit, that you worked with that may lean right about some things. Right? Correct. But to me, the far right would be the ones that, even though you lean kind of right, if you get smart with them, right, they can accuse you of being on drugs and being a far right extremist. I mean, usually that's, and to me, if I bash anybody on the right, there's some kind of fanatical right. They would be some kind of asshole supervisor in a job, which even some people on the right will get talked down to by these assholes. That's how I differentiate, tell you difference between a asshole right and a better right. And I'll tell you the moderate right would be have a tendency to, like, I actually believe the professionals have the professionals, that's their job, to rehab somebody if they want to be rehabbed and not doing it because the career criminals, you get the ones that don't really want to be rehabbed. They defend their drug use legalization of all drugs, and they say they did nothing wrong, and they're forced into rehab because of course it's forced them to. But I play a ball with the people, trying not to piss them off, but I'm not going to be an apologist or an asshole about it either. Certain people I went to school with had statements, and again, I'm talking parentheses here, I'm using this example, bear with me. I don't think it was wrong for them to say what they said on their social media. Oh, addicts, I love when they're not all low lifes and yada yada. And I'm agreeing partially with them because, like I said, if they want to be rehabbed, and it's like we've seen Dog the Bounty Hunter see on TV. That dealer he looked at this one dealer. I don't feel sorry for you, but I feel sorry for him. If it's somebody that got sold the shit, got addicted to the shit, and they want to be off it, and it was
certain circumstances, but then you may make some of these people mad because some of them think the kind of people that are just assholes and like the drugs and all that stuff and don't give a damn. Oh, you don't talk. You might make some of them mad. They don't like. They want to hear that shit. They think that shit don't exist, and they'll think you're an asshole, and they might. You know, you could make a few. Well, there was a few of them that were just random people I knew on social media, not even people I went to school with. Oh, got mad. Fuck you. I'm unfriending you. Yeah. Then fuck you too. But you know what I'm saying. There's the ones that are like the moderate right. Yeah, give them a second chance in rehab. But the other asshole right that I just told you about earlier are the ones that, if they give you any second chance at all, don't lose it. You're gone. Which, nothing wrong with that, I mean. But the problem with the real far right is if you get smart with them, say you're a person that leans to the right and there's some supervisor on a power trip that's also maybe right. They don't care how right you lean, and you get smart with them for some reason. They'll bring you trouble, work wiser with police if they can, just for getting smart with them. Like, for example, you get smart with them somewhere, when you talk, they talk down to you, they can accuse you of being on drugs just for getting smart. That's what's dangerous about the far right, along with accusing you of being a right-wing extremist, even though they lead it. You know what I'm saying? Unlike the moderate right, second chance rehab, providing they're not, you know what I mean? And then, okay, you got this far in the video, the far left, and there's a moderate left, and there's a part of the left, too, that I've met places. Oh, I kind of lean left, but I'm not like that. And then if you got this far in this video, too, if you were somebody who did rehab and made a mistake, calm down, this isn't about you, you know. If you got out of that shit, by all means, God bless you, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? I should say that in the beginning of the video. But anyway, the far left, and it's not, I'm not even doing, this has gotten so bad with the far left that I believe that what I'm saying here, at one time it would have used to been like exaggeration and trolling to flip them off. But it's turning literal now, what I tell you, when, because they, you know what I mean, because they're admitting to this. That they're literally saying that they want the legalization of all drugs. Rehab is oppressive. And these people on the far left also believe in those heroin injection centers that former governor of my state, Pennsylvania. I have to check on there to see if he's still doing that, or they should fucking shut that shit down. As a premise to save lives, and there's a part of the far left that believes, oh yeah, rehab, you should have an injection center. Rehab is oppressive. You should be able to do all the drugs they want as long as we get the taxpayer to pay for more NARCAN to keep them from dying. I'm saying this shit, I believe that I'm not even trolling, really. I don't even think even my earlier days on YouTube, that I'd be trolling and saying this. And, you know, it's literally not an exaggeration. There are a lot of these people on the far left admit it. And the far left also believe that, okay, for example, I'm still talking about the far left here, bear with me, but I'm going to jump to the moderate and far right for a second in a belief and pair it with a thing that the far left hates you for. I told you the moderate left is fair, right? But I'll tell you, both the moderate left and even the far left, in my opinion, have a God-given right to, second chance or not, if a family member that's an addict, that say they might draw police to your door, you drive them around in their car, give them a ride somewhere, you know, in some neighborhoods, you didn't do nothing, they could confiscate your property. You know what I mean? There's, even the asshole far right has, along with the moderate right, has the right to, for example, if they choose to do so, second chance or not, keep banning them from your property and no association, as for their own safety. Even the asshole part of the right has a right to do what's in the best interest for their own safety. And I'll argue that some of these assholes on the far left. And I believe the moderate right would have to be careful if it's you know what I'm saying? But both moderate and far right, even though the far right would be being an asshole, both of them have the right to, in their best interest is their safety. Say you've got kids in the house, you don't want the police or their enemies or their drug daddy to come into your house and after them, and they're looking to rob you or harm you, or you know what I mean. There's a right to just cut them out, keep them away. Okay, you got this far, but the far left, jumping back to that, you bearing with me here, the far left thinks you're a total asshole for thinking that way. Oh, you're a selfish asshole. You should let them just come right in your house anytime you feel like it, bring their friends around. And you're an asshole for having money in the bank and having nice things. Oh, because they're against capitalism. They're actually narco-communists, communists and narco-communists. Oh, it's whether you work for it or not, they believe that if you have money and nice things, you should give it to them. Matter of fact, you should be doing drugs too. How dare you? You're being so selfish that you don't give them anything they want. You should just give everything until it's all gone. And they also believe that you should be doing drugs along with them after your money is all gone, and that and you and them should be trying to pull money together to get a joint or get a fix or even a beer or cigarettes or whatever. And you're a selfish asshole for having nice things, and you're just being paranoid. After all, they're dealers or drug daddy. They won't harm you as long as you don't offend them. And your way of life is offensive. It's selfish to them. Yeah, having money and nice things is selfish. And matter of fact, they're buddies. Yeah, if you don't do no drugs or anything, they should be allowed to come right in your house and rob you. Matter of fact, they shouldn't have to rob you, break into your house, or rob you at gun or knife point. If you would just quit being selfish and just surrender and offer up and give them everything, you know what I'm saying? This isn't an exaggeration. I can say this now and not really be trolling. There's people out there that are that far left that believe this shit. That everybody should be the same. You know, if you have nice things, you must be an asshole in league with capitalists, right? Oh yeah, they also believe capitalism is wrong and anybody that gets rich is wrong, even though there are rich assholes, right? But, the drug daddy is allowed to make tons of money, and the drug daddy is, they don't mind the drug daddy having a business as a business or store that's only a money laundering cloak or cover, like you hear about, so that they can, capitalism is wrong, but yet, the drug daddy is allowed to have all this money and patrol your streets with a nice car and everything while you have nothing. And they should be in the streets in place of the police, even though I say there are police out there that are assholes. I told my one story. These kind of people don't want the police, but yet they'll have Mr. Drug Daddy against communism. They'll have Mr. Drug Daddy, communist, against capitalism, right? They patrol the streets and, you have something, they should be able to go right in your house and take, you got more than somebody else, take it. So, somebody needs money to get high, how dare you have, you got that nice car, somebody should be able to maybe vandalize it, steal the car, take it on a joyride, you know what I'm saying, and if you're a woman, you got to be careful saying this in front of people's kids too loud, I shit you not. If you're a woman, maybe, you shouldn't be successful or smart or successful or empowered. You're a selfish bitch if you don't want to do no drugs or give no money for somebody to do drugs, and maybe, and you're also selfish if you don't want to go on a street corner once in a while and be submissive to the pimps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You'll get, and that will also dovetail. You can make entire videos about these radical feminists that are radical left that got women's rights all screwed up, literally allowed to, the kind of feminists that screwed up feminism. that, yeah, they're sticking up for all the ones on street corners that do drugs and don't really like it. They don't really like any women to really be successful. There's like a really fucked up version of feminism people are talking about on YouTube that is associated with this far left. I bring up feminism because, yeah, if you're a woman watching, oh, you're not allowed to have nice things and be successful in that particular part of the world. Oh, how dare you look down on them smart mouth bitches out there that supposedly have the right to hate you because you want to have nice things, and you should be on a street corner right next to them trying to get money together for a fix or a joint or booze or hanging in the bars. That's the real far left. Because they're the kind of people that stick up for every single lowlife on the streets. And you're not allowed to say the word lowlife or call nobody a lowlife, even though they are. The ones that make no effort. The ones that want that lifestyle. The difference between an outright lowlife and the ones that may have rehabbed themselves. They want everybody equal, no capitalism. You're selfish if you have something, whether you work for it or not. And if you're the kind of person that don't even smoke cigarettes or drink or do no drugs because you want to lower the cost, say you've got costs of rent coming up, and say you want to have a higher status, increase your status in your life, and you want to not have any excess habits, even the legal alcohol and cigarettes, oh, you're an asshole for that too. This is what the far left is like. And yeah, me and my partner, we got a letter that our rent went up $50. I just bring this up because if you got this far in this video, unlike anybody else, like, take into account what I said all in this video, my attitude toward, or your guys' normal, sane people's attitude to when your rent goes up, you hope the economy don't get worse. And the far left is like, ooh, paying rent period, paying any rent period is oppressive. And in their world, rent goes up, oh, they got to get a bunch of their drug buddies to shack up in the house so that they can get a bunch of money together to buy a case of beer, a bag of weed, maybe a bunch of needles, pills. Oh, and then I'm not allowed. I'm just a scumbag. I'm a scumbag and an asshole for saying that too. You know, oh, how dare you? I have a son or something. That's my baby. He's been in and out of rehab. That offends me that you think you're better, or when you want to have nice things, you should be giving him all your money so that he can do whatever he wants, because that's my baby and he should never have to go to jail and never have to face any consequences. You know what I'm saying? And if you got this far in this video too, one other thing I said about the far right, because I work with people that are moderate right and good people, with black and white. Another thing too, this long hair too. The far right would automatically, you know what they'd be saying about me too. That way, and they'd have the tendency to get mad when their things that they accuse are not true. So I could do whole videos on that, but I could go on and on about that, but you got the basic gist of it. I tried to say this all. There's actually stuff in here that you can make entire 30-minute videos about, but I want to get straight to the point. But if you get anything out of this at all, whether you're a moderate right or a far right, if you go to church or if you don't go to church, if you're a humanist or if you're somebody like, no matter who you are, you have an absolute right. You're not an asshole. You have an absolute right to keep a relative away from you, ban them from your life for your own safety. Even if you don't give them they deserve a second chance, right? Hey, let the professionals deal with it. I mean, you take them in your house one time, you're at risk. You have an absolute right, no matter what anybody says, for your own self-preservation and safety and everything I got. Nothing wrong with that at all. But the far left, like I said too, they want the whole 9 yards. They want you to go down to that level when you're an asshole for